Well, how did you react, Bob, when you found out you'd got metastasised prostate cancer?
Well, I was pretty devastated, actually. Found it hard to cope with to start with. I couldn't really speak to people without almost breaking down. But eventually, with the help of family, friends, and especially my wife, I got over that particular problem and started to talk to people about it.
Well, that's what you have to do. You have to be quite open and not think of it as an embarrassing disease, which is the danger, because it attacks the trouser area. It's something you've just got to get on and cope with. And it's really important to keep a positive outlook and not let it destroy your life.
Well, eventually was exactly my view, and one of the important things I think is that you've got to talk to people about it, and you've got to actually bring the word cancer into conversation, and that's a very difficult thing to do.
Now, I hear the word cancer, and it's just another word.
You know, since I was diagnosed and I've got over it, and I've started to live my life again. Not a lot has changed, really. I mean, I still go skiing. I love to go skiing. You know, I really enjoy it. And to be quite honest, I think my skiing has improved since since I was diagnosed. In actual fact, the first year I was on chemotherapy. My consultant in Birmingham, he actually delayed the treatment of my chemotherapy to suit my skiing holiday.
It's important to set yourself a goal. My oncologist actually gave me a maximum of 3 years to live. And every time I went to see him, he gave me a countdown and said, "You've only got 2.5 years to live. You've only got 2 years to live." And I got so angry. I really did. And I thought, well, sod you, I'll show you. And I signed on and did the Nottingham Half Marathon, which was an unbelievable experience.
I remember you doing it.
Yeah.
Pretty slow, but...
I couldn't do it again. I had 2 hours, 49 minutes, which, believe me, was a lot better than I thought it would be. But that was one of the highlights. And that got me over the first 6 months, because I was concentrating so hard on that I didn't think about anything else. And after I'd done that, well, when I wanted to do that, I thought, well, who am I going to do it for? And there are a whole load of articles in the Leicester Mercury, and PROSTaid was mentioned. And so I ran it for PROSTaid, which is how I got involved in it. And I've got to say, that's been definitely one of the better decisions of my life. Because getting involved with PROSTaid introduced me to a whole load of people who were in a similar sort of situation to me, who had got a similar outlook to me, which is positive and get on with it and don't dwell on it. And there's very little in life that hasn't got a funny side. And strange as it may seem, we've had more laughs about prostate cancer than you can believe.
I know exactly what you mean, because, you know, the same as you, I got involved with PROSTaid in a funny sort of way, really, in that, you know, one of my Rotary Club ran the Rome Marathon and said to me, whatever I raise in fundraising for Rome Marathon, I'll give it to you, Bob, and you give it to whomever you think is, you know, the right people to give it to. And eventually I got in touch. Oh, sorry about this.
That's okay.
Funny you should say that. When one of the members of our Rotary Club in Loughborough decided to run Rome Marathon, and he said to me, whatever I raised through fundraising, I'll give it to you, Bob, and you can give it to whatever cause you feel fit. And I got in touch with Rob Banner at PROSTaid, and he came along and I handed him a cheque for £400. And during the night, Rob said to me, you ought to come along to one of our meetings. You might find it interesting. And to cut a long story short, I went along to the meeting, quite enjoyed it actually, but came away a member of the committee with a mandate to organise the first dragon boat race. And from there, like you, Hugh, I found the members to be really good friends, and they've really helped me because we're all of a like mind, and you know, it's been super, and so it continues.
Well, you spark off each other. I mean, you talk about the funny side of it. I can remember PROSTaid was putting in a dragon boat team, which isn't bad really when you think about it, is it? A load of prostate cancer sufferers doing a dragon boat race, and we were discussing what we were going to call the boat, and the first suggestion was erectile dysfunction. We didn't, but it caused a laugh.
That's right, yeah. And it certainly caused a laugh on the day when our team got on the water, and I do remember Rob Banner being in front of me, and he was the only one in time, and rattling my knuckles with his oar on a regular occasion.
I can remember that.
But,
yeah.
But no, we've had some absolutely super times.
But it was good when the police tipped up.
It was, and we beat them.
We were racing against the police team, and they were all sort of we're the police, you know, and we were just behind them and catching them up, and suddenly they just tipped over, which was absolutely hilarious. They got these little policemen's helmets on, these little toy policemen's helmets, and suddenly you looked on the canal, and all these policemen's helmets were just floating on the water. And it came over the tunnel.
And we passed them and went on to win the race.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, that was hilarious.
But no, PROSTaid have been a big help. They really have, and do some absolutely super work, I think.
They do.
They really do.
One of the things I've done is to make a list of things I want to do before I pass on, and I'm slowly ticking my way through them. Since I was diagnosed, I've learnt to water ski, which was good fun.
I've never managed it.
Oh, you want to have a go with it, Bob? It's really good. One of the things I did on holiday, we went to Les Arcs in France for a holiday, is boogie boarding. There's a whitewater river there, and it's like whitewater rafting, but instead of a raft, you have this little board that you surf down the river on, which is absolutely incredible. You put on a great big thick wetsuit to protect you against the rocks, because there are rocks that you hit. And we went 15 miles down this river like that, and it was unbelievable. It was the sort of river that you looked at and you thought, you'll die if you go in there. And all of these were getting ready, and all of these fit young French people were all putting the wetsuits on, and they're looking at me, stupid old, fat old Englishman, you know, what's he doing this for? But I did it, and I got down the river before most of they did, and I think they were quite surprised, actually.
You should go in the winter and put some skis on.
Well, I keep trying, but my wife won't let me.
Yeah, it's good fun.
She draws the line at that, but there you go. The other thing I'm currently trying to do is a skydive, a parachute jump. I've been 3 times, but every time I go there, the weather's foul and rotten. that should be really good when I do it.
I think one of the most important things to get over to people who have just been diagnosed and have the same sort of worries that you and I had is that all these sort of things that we've been talking about are there to get on with, and life can go on almost as normal.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's all up here, really.
Yeah, it is.
And you've got to get on with it.
Well, in my case, my illness forced me to retire from my job because I wasn't physically strong enough to do it anymore, which totally changed my life for the better. And I can honestly say that I've had the best 3.5 years of my life now.